Oh, hey, well, it's been a hot minute. Not for y'all. It's been like 2-3 days at most.
Hasn't it also been 2 or 3 da's for us?
Yeah, but it's a longer 2-3 days for us.
I see.
It might not be apparent when these come out, but we were actually recording pretty far ahead on this to make a buffer for, channel reasons. So it's a little different from how we usually do it, but it's setting us up for some other stuff in the future, and I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But who cares about that?
Time for Check's Notes, romancing the serial killer.
Hey, good to know. Erica goes down first. Hey!
Got them.
Got him! Alright, I'm done here. I go down first. I look towards the cell where Liam should be restrained and gasp. Oh, fuck.
What is it?
He descends into the police station and sees what I see.
Liam's gone.
The cell door is halfway open, a key dangling from the lock as if to taunt us. There's no trail, no sign of where he went or how he got a key. He's just gone.
Well, this throws off what little of a plan we had.
Who would have let him go? Not Maddie, I'm sure of it.
I suppose anyone could have done it if they had a key to the office and the cell. Who has those?
The mayor? No one else as far as I know.
There were multiple keys at one point. I know back in the first couple weeks I saw 3 different sheriff deputies with them.
You know that because you were trying to get them to let you go.
Of course I was. I wanted to see what was going on outside. I knew I wasn't going to escape the fucking town until someone took action.
Okay, I guess it's time to regroup and come up with a plan. Let's make sure Maddie is okay and start talking about what's next.
Sounds good to me, though we should watch our back. Liam might be looking for some revenge.
I have a feeling if he was looking for revenge, he would have figured out immediately where we had gone and either cornered us up there or waited for us to come back.
Yeah.
I don't think that's his plan here.
Yeah, it'd be really easy to get the drop on us.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since you have to come out of such a compromised position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention he's already got the superior strength advantage here.
Yep.
Also, I love how we're just like, fuck the rest of the mysteries of that place. I'm done.
I wonder if we even get up there in the others.
Probably not. I would be I'd be willing to bet that that's the most we get out of that.
I bet that Liam's route gets us inside the towers instead, and we see what's in there.
Absolutely. Julian's will probably get us closer to the trains. I don't know what'll happen with Maddie's route. Fortunately, we find Maddie's house looking undisturbed. We knock on the door and she takes a few minutes, but answers it with bleary, tired eyes.
Sheriff, what's going on?
Liam's missing. Do you know what happened?
What? When did this happen? What time is it?
A time slippage again? Also, notice she doesn't have a bandage on.
Mm-hmm.
Although we did hear that they can heal their wounds quickly, but the game's been using that to signal to us so far whenever she's under someone's control. Oh, August is on point here. August grabs Maddie's arm and pulls her close suddenly. I'm about to intervene when I realize what he's staring at. 2 small puncture holes in Maddie's neck.
Maddie, it appears you've been compromised again. What?
She reaches up to put her hand over the wound on her neck. Then she sways, her eyes losing focus. I reach over to help August support her before she can fall over. Let's get inside. This really just does keep happening to Maddie. I kind of want to see her route now to see like what because we've had a couple of different explanations for this, right? This could be a fully consensual arrangement and she's working as their cleaner, right?
I think signs point to no.
It's a possibility, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it. It could be that they're taking advantage of her withdrawal from heroin to kind of coerce her into using something else. In this case, I guess the rush from having your blood sucked by a vampire. We help Maddie to get comfortable inside and refresh her with a strong cup of coffee. I don't have coffee, so this cup of Cafix will have to do. Honestly, this stuff is great. I didn't think I'd like it, but I like it more than I like decaf. Because it doesn't taste like coffee, like fake coffee. It just tastes like a thing. This has been SK Talks about my caffeine dependency hours. Then we explained to her what happened, omitting the specific reason August and I spent so much time in the upper floors of City Hall. Unfortunately, we found nothing useful, and while we were gone, Liam escaped.
It's possible Liam escaped alone, but I doubt it. Either Julian or Charlotte must have helped him.
Or Maddie. Oh, I see what he... Okay, yeah.
One of them must have bitten you and worked their magic over your memories. At least they directed you back to your home, rather than the grave. God damn it.
Can you remember anything from today that might be a clue?
I don't know. Can I even trust what I remember? I feel like I had a dream about Liam and Charlotte, so I think Charlotte must have been there. Did you really find nothing in the upper floors of City Hall? It's just garbage. It might be garbage from another world, but it's still useless to us in our circumstances. We're much more concerned now with the vampire problem.
Yeah, it's almost funny just how useless it all was. Like it says so much without saying anything of importance at all, and it's like that's honestly a little bit more creepy.
Yeah.
That's right. Not only has Liam escaped jail, but before that, we learned that Charlotte has been faking the BRS letters. The Batailles have been manipulating us for quite some time. I'm more certain than ever that they're responsible for the disappearance of Jessica and Gary, and those poor kids are probably dead.
Fucking vampires. They can't get away with this.
That is what a lot of the fiction I read about them involves. August and I exchanged glances, surprised by the heat of Maddie's outburst.
I want to help. The Batailles must be stopped, but how?
First of all, we're putting a bell on you.
Yeah, that's for the best. I'm imagining in Maddie's route and you're just trying to romance the lesbian and you keep getting interrupted every 5 minutes by Draculas that needs to come suck her blood just constantly nonstop.
And you're like, stop, I want to make out with the lesbian. And they're like, blood.
The one thing that's consistent across most vampire stories is that their weak point is their heart. Fortunately, you have me.
See, and that's why we were like, you had convinced me earlier on that he might have been just a vampire hunter.
August Wright, August Flynn, vampire hunter. Sorry, August Wright? Damn.
Oh, wow, he's taken our name. Oh, wow. What a gentlemanly move. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Known criminal.
Yeah.
I realize that Maddie hasn't yet heard August admit his true nature.
Oh, you saying you're...
Yes, Maddie, he's the heartbreaker. He confessed. Maddie turns pale and gulps. August glowers.
I was the so-called heartbreaker, gravely misunderstood.
Emphasis on the gravely.
Indeed. But all that matters now is that I plan to remove vampire hearts rather than human ones.
August, we might not have to remove anyone's heart. The Batailles broke the law. If we can just prove that to everyone, maybe we can break their control over the town. What if we could keep the status quo and make everything go away?
I doubt that, but I'm listening. What do you suggest we do next, Erica?
Who?
Sherika.
Thank you. Maddie and August both look at me expectantly. I think we should call a town meeting. We need to announce that Liam has escaped from jail.
Right, and we should finally tell everyone that the Batailles are vampires.
No, I still think that would only lead to panic.
The Batailles are members of the Lucian Church. We spent the whole day listening to complaints between Christians and Lucians. Surely some of them could be convinced that the Batailles are vampires just based on their faith. Forgive me, but I think you're suggesting we essentially commit some form of blood libel against the Lucians.
Yeah, and that feels weird, actually, doesn't it? That like I know it's a weird. It like they didn't exist before 6 months ago, but also that feels wrong. We're not going to talk about vampires. You make a good point, Maddie. We already have some conflict brewing that could work against the Batailles, the Lucian Church.
I knew I was right to research churches from the beginning.
Oh, stop it. That was nothing but ego stroking, and you know it. It was definitely stroking of some kind. Resist the urge to roll my eyes. The Batailles use the Lucian Church to stay connected to the town. They're social leaders within the church. If we hurt the Lucians, maybe we hurt their credibility. Maddie, were there any complaints you think we could use to close the Lucian Church somehow? We need an excuse to launch an investigation or something like that.
Yeah, I think I know just the thing.
That was water, not Caffex. I'm double fisting my drinks tonight. Got my hydration in one hand and then my fake caffeine drink in the other one. Wonder how this would taste if you put like whiskey in it.
Good question.
Here's the thing. I have a feeling it wouldn't taste bad.
Yeah.
Which is like the distressing part about it, right?
It's fine if you try to like make it a latte.
Yeah, like a fake latte.
It doesn't taste like a real latte in any way, but it is a perfectly fine flavor.
Yeah, I could see that. I prepare my announcements for the town, and then I talk to Mayor Ward at City Hall. Why are we not suspecting him of letting Liam loose?
He doesn't have keys, and also Maddie was bitten.
He doesn't have keys, and he was bitten?
And Maddie was bitten.
And Maddie was bitten. Yeah, but Maddie keeps getting bitten. That could have been for something else. I know that the Bataille hold sway over Mayor Ward, but this time he is happy to help me call an emergency town meeting. I suspect his loyalty to the Bataille has been shaken ever since the murder of Princent. I go home for a short while to sort my thoughts and get what sleep I can. Am I really ready to wage war against the Bataille? Am I really falling in love with the Heartbreaker? I prefer taking action over ruminating, so as soon as it's time, I make my way to City Hall for the emergency town meeting.
Can't believe we're going to have the ultimate action scene, a town meeting. Are we going to talk about zoning?
I haven't played it, but isn't that what happens at like the climactic arc of Higurashi or something?
How do you know that?
Because people meme about it. I haven't played it, but I know that everyone gets really weirded out by like, I think it's like, is that the 7th one or something?
I don't remember which one it is in arc order.
Thank you all for gathering here under short notice. Sheriff Wright has some concerning news to share with you all. I take my place at the makeshift podium and face the small crowd of townsfolk. Thank you, Mayor. And you can tell this is serious because we're using my character model in the background rather than in the portrait in the corner. As most of you know, Liam Bataille confessed to the murder of Terry Vincent and was then confined in the precinct prison. The precinct prison.
Yeah, the prison.
The prison. Thank you.
The precinct?
I like the first one better. Today, he escaped from his cell. Gasps and murmurs roil the gathering. My deputies and
Gasp.
Royal.
Murmur.
My deputies and I are doing what we can to find and detain him. In the meantime, if you have any information about Liam's whereabouts, please share it immediately. Share it with the sheriff. That's where the share comes from. Please do not attempt to apprehend Liam yourself. He is a dangerous fugitive and must be avoided at all costs. More murmurs and whispers. Meanwhile, there's another matter I'd like to address. Yesterday, many of you came here to file complaints against your neighbors. Most of these conflicts stemmed from religious disagreements. My deputies and I plan to address and resolve as many complaints as possible, but one in particular needs to be addressed before the others. It's come to our attention that someone made an attack against the Anointed Lutheran Church, also known as Bataille United Modal, led by Pastor Kimberly. This attack affected the gas lines and makes the building dangerous. Therefore, the building must be closed to all civilians until further notice. It's always gas leak. I guess it's because it's the easiest one to get, because there's no visual component to it, right? And a lot of dangerous gases don't have, you can't smell them.
Yep.
So, I guess that's the easiest lie to sell. But the murmurs from the crowd are much angrier this time, including a few angry yells.
You can't stop us from worshiping.
We will do what we can to resolve the situation as soon as possible. Until then, the Lutheran Church grounds are closed. Thank you. I step away from the podium and return to my companions, ignoring the angry shouts of the crowd around me. Oh, yo, new view.
New angle.
New angle. Nangle. Dang, that is just a weirdly tall building.
Yeah.
Mayor Ward scowls furiously at me, hissing under his breath. We didn't discuss that. You can't close a church. I'm just closing the building, temporarily. It'll cause a lot of trouble. Tensions at church are high enough already. Not to mention the Batailles. A smirk tugs at the side of my face. Yes, I am aware the Batailles won't be pleased. I glance over at August and Maddie. Maddie nods back at me with grim resolve, but August sulks and looks away. I don't have time to think about August's reaction because we're soon flooded by townsfolk personally voicing their frustrations. We do our best to disperse the crowd, stating that we only want to hear information about Liam Bataille's whereabouts. Eventually, our diligence pays off. Maddie directs me to the postman, Fred. Hey, Barty. And, Wilma. I don't know. I haven't watched the Flintstones in decades. Sheriff, I need to tell you something. Will you promise not to tell the Batailles I'm the source? I promise, Fred. What do you know? Yesterday, I was passing by the Bataille clinic. You know, the old vet? And I saw Charlotte leaving with someone. He was hunched into a white hoodie, so I didn't see his face or hair, but from his build and gait, I think it might have been Liam Bataille. What time did this happen? About 7 o'clock last night, I think. Which direction did they go from the clinic? Towards the Bataille mansion, like you'd think. I see. Thank you for this information, Fred. I seek out August. He's sulking near the corner of the street. What is it? You don't like this plan?
A gas line. You think they're going to buy that?
See, August is smart enough to know the tropes. They don't have to buy it long. We have a lead.
Oh?
Postman saw Liam Bataille sneaking around the clinic. No, the postman saw someone that he thought was Liam Bataille sneaking around the clinic.
What if there's another Bataille?
Go on.
They've pointedly not said that there's only 3 of them, and when questioned, Liam didn't give a straight answer and started talking. Then was like, no, just my brother, my sister, and me, and so on.
I like this. Okay, so
I don't know that this gets us anything at all,
especially considering the game seems content to set up Charlotte as the villain here. But that is fascinating. Because that could also, an unknown vampire X.
Exactly what I thought.
Could create some scenarios where we don't necessarily, we aren't necessarily able to account for all the Bataille's actions as we think we are.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's where he gets his blood, right? I'm starting to think of how we can really hurt him.
Let's just start by asking a few more questions, okay?
I suppose.
Stop making your dog lips at me, or duck lips, whatever they are. But you know the ones where you go like, I'm so baby mode. That's you. That's what you sound like.
It's true. That is what I sound like.
There's no lie there. That's exactly what he sounds like. August is restless as we make our way up to the clinic. He spins around and taps his heels against the pavement of the street. I can tell he wants to be doing something else, anything else. But this is the lead we have. Nurse Kathleen was not at the town meeting because she was in the midst of treating a patient. That works in our favor because we arrive in her office as she's wrapping up. August casually sits down, draping his leg over one arm of the chairs. See, when you do that, when you just... Do you not know how chairs do?
They don't teach you that in graduate school.
There were exactly 2 types of people that don't know how to sit in chairs. Camp counselors and the gays. Do you need to come out to me, August? Were you a camp counselor at one point?
Well, this one time at pre-Socratic's camp. It's been a few months, Kathy. How have you been? Mr. Flynn, I take it that now that you're free, you don't have to entertain yourself by making up fake diseases and claiming to have them. I did that once. Are you ever going to let it go? You were trying to humiliate me.
Odds on him calling it something like ligmaitis or something.
I was doing no such thing. I was trying to get my hands on some stimulants to help me pass the time.
Oh, that's better.
I know that train brings you amphetamine salts every so often.
Enough! That we're not here to get you your fix, August. We know Liam Bataille was here recently. We know you supply him with blood.
Because he is a vampire.
Which we know.
Sheriff Wright, I feel like... We don't care what you feel like. What? I'm fucking sick of dancing around the matter. I like to dance, but not like this.
August, you are...
No, Erica, this woman has enabled them. The mayor just looked the other way, bad enough, but she collected our blood and fed it to those monsters. And now she's going to tell us everything we know, or we're going to take her blood and feed it to the plants outside.
Oh, okay. Okay, so... August! He jumps up from his casual pose on the chair. Before he can do anything, he has a knife pointed right at Kathleen.
Do you understand the situation you're in now, you petty bourgeois collaborator?
I want to stop him, but I don't. I remember how I felt when Kathleen clearly lied to me about the reason she was collecting so much blood. Was he right? Was her willingness to act as a conduit for our blood just as bad as the vampire's use of it? After all, they needed to take our blood to live. She didn't. We should definitely focus on canceling her first before we get to the Batailles. I let it play out.
Sheriff, what are you doing? Stop him.
I don't.
Here's the thing, Kathy. The police only protect what they want from threats they deem worthy of stopping.
August said ACAB? I think?
For once, they've decided not to protect the Batailles stealing from this town. And probably because the only cops realize what it is they're defending. Fucking vampires.
He pushes the knife closer to her neck. I tell myself I'll stop him before he really hurts her, but I'm not convinced I will. Especially when...
Oh, okay, I know what they did. I'm sorry. So, you admit they're vampires. They're vampires. You admit that you took the blood of innocent people and gave it to them, just because they said they needed it. I did. Tell me what you can do to justify letting you live.
August, you don't have to.
I do, and you know I do.
I
kept logs.
Logs?
Blood in, blood out. It's not much, but if you want it, you can have it. Just don't hurt me.
He puts away his knife. He seems disappointed.
It will do. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
She pulls a small logbook out of her desk and hands it over. I quickly page through it, and she's right. It isn't much. It's a lot of vague numbers without many descriptions. This will be hard to interpret. Can you tell us how much each vampire needs to consume on average?
Oh, sure. I know some calculations in my head, but I can write that down for you.
She takes the ledger back and jots down some notes with a shaky hand. I retrieve the ledger and give it another look. I'm convinced it's all she can give us for now, so I nod to August.
One day, when this is all over, you will have to admit your crimes or face my knife again. Do you understand that?
Kathleen doesn't respond. She just nods.
Where did Liam go? Who was with him? He was here with Charlotte to get blood. I think they just went back to the mansion. I don't really know. Anything else we need to ask her, Erica?
I think she's given us everything she can.
So do I.
He turns back to Kathleen.
It's dark outside, Kathy. Hope they don't discover that you betrayed them.
With that, we leave. Well, I don't know how I felt about that.
Oh, but the rest up until this point was fine.
Oh yeah, no moral qualms up until this point. Nothing. No notes, as it were. Got him. So, what do we think about Jessica and Garrett? We talked about this, right? Like, they were dead because they were getting too close to the truth, to some truth. Is that what we think?
Think so.
Especially now that we know that there's no way Charlotte didn't write that letter.
Although Charlotte claims there's a real BRS.
True. After leaving the clinic, August and I make our way home. A heavy silence follows us for a while until finally... Are you... like, all right? You've been sulking all night, and then you blew up on Kathleen. You shouldn't have treated her like that. She isn't...
She took our blood and gave it to them.
Okay, I admit that it was a bit satisfying, but something else is bothering you.
I already explained I don't like this plan, but I will abide by your decision.
August. His arms wrap around me suddenly. I lose my balance and fall against him as he pulls me close.
Never mind, I don't care.
He buries his head against my neck, kissing my throat and nipping gently. Excitement rushes through me, but I try to regain my balance. August, we're still near the middle of town.
So, your place or mine?
I like her. I like her embarrassed.
Right, mine. Wouldn't want to mortify your roommate.
I pull back from him, struggling to gather my thoughts. Part of me wants to follow August home and stumble into bed with him, but I also want to be cautious and careful as always. August seems to sense my inner dilemma. His hands reach out to clasp mine.
Carpe diem, Erica. We're antagonizing vampires. We could die at any moment.
Damn right you could. Shit, of course it was that sweater. God damn it, the jazz sweater came back. That's the name of that pattern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something so great about Liam in a jazz pattern sweater.
It's beautiful.
August and I both turn with a start. A dark figure steps out of the shadows and into the light. August's hand reaches towards his hip. My hand moves towards my holster. Stop right there, both of you. Not another fucking move.
Or what?
You don't want to find out. He walks a little closer, looking us up and down. Eventually, his eyes settle on me. Hurt and betrayal simmer in his gaze. A dangerous fugitive? What the hell, Erica? You are dangerous and a fugitive. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. I turned myself in willingly. Does that count for nothing? Not if you break out. You killed an innocent woman, Liam. And what about this asshole? Liam points at August. Look at them both doing the pose. What is this, the Invisible Oranges fan club? The what?
Yes, we meet on Wednesdays.
No, we don't. We do not meet on Wednesdays. Don't listen to him. He killed more. I'm not a danger to the people of Bataille. He is. This isn't a competition.
I disagree. There's only one cell in Bataille, after all.
My stomach twists with fear when I see the mischievous smirk on August's face. But then he holds up my hands and hold up his hands in surrender.
Whatever it is, I lose. After all, at the end of the day, I'm a human. You're a vampire. What hope do I have against that?
Huh? That's not the point.
Isn't it, though? The only reason you can threaten an armed sheriff and her companion is because you're a vampire. And you could overpower us both on a whim.
Look. Just because I can harm you doesn't mean I will. I just want to go back to being a normal citizen of this town.
You were never a normal citizen. You're Bataille. You live in a mansion towering over everyone else.
I'm fucking adopted, and everyone knows it. I have to fight every day for respect, and I want it back. Liam looks at me again, pointing an angry finger at August. Put him back in jail, Erica. Clear my name. That's what's safest for Bataille right now. I don't respond to ultimatums, Liam. If you don't, then my family and I will do it for you. So you're threatening me. I'm just telling you what will happen.
He's right, Erica. We're no match for the Batailles. If putting me back in jail will get them to stand down, you should do it.
Both Liam and I gape at August in disbelief. You really agree to this, August?
What choice do I have? We're outmatched.
I don't trust you, Heartbreaker, so I'll see to this myself. Erica, give me the handcuffs. Reluctantly, I hand them over. I still wonder what August is playing at. He holds up his wrists, waiting patiently for the cuffs. Don't try anything stupid, August. Liam studies August a moment, looking for a trap. Then he goes in with the cuffs. August dips suddenly, turning his body as if to roll sideways, but sweeping against Liam's legs in the process. Even though I suspected a trap, I'm still surprised. And so is Liam, who trips forward despite his fast reflexes. Liam recovers quickly, though, baring his fangs and coiling to pounce. August is still on the ground and vulnerable. I draw my weapon and cock it. Don't move!
Careful, Liam. Those bullets are silver.
What? I struggle to hide my own surprise. Silver? My bullets aren't silver, why would they be? But Liam's reaction is one of shock and fear. He stares at my gun with newfound terror. While he's distracted, August launches suddenly from the ground behind Liam. I see a flash of light reflected against the metal, and then I hear Liam yell with pain. Pain! August drives Liam face first into the ground. His hand holds a knife deep in Liam's back. Oh! Liam struggles to turn around, but is clearly in pain. August yanks out the knife, prompting another cry from Liam. Then August lifts it up and aims for another strike. August, no! Liam scrambles out of August's grasp. Then he pauses. Instinctively, I sense Liam about to attack again. I aim my shot at the ground near his feet. Liam leaps back and vanishes into the darkness. August and I say nothing for a while, watching the shadows for more danger. Eventually...
I think I'll stay with you tonight after all, Erica. Have you or Stacy invited any of the Batailles into your home?
No, I don't think so.
Let's hope not.
Well... I mean, I shouldn't be surprised about the face-eating leopard, right? It's not like the game's saying, yeah, he's a serial killer. He's killed a lot, very brutally.
This also was the plan, right? Yep. This was the plan all along. So, like, I don't see why Erica's so surprised. Like, that would have worked.
There's a certain amount of murder that goes into murdering folks. I think you'll find you can't murder in order for. I think the real truism at the core of it is that people die when they are killed. All the way home, August and I remain grim and quiet. We watch the darkness constantly, wary of every noise and movement, or resist the urge to talk to him about it until we're safely inside my house. What the hell happened back there, August?
I discovered a vampire weakness, that's what.
Silver? You think they're weak to silver?
Absolutely. I first suspected it when I had Charlotte over for breakfast. I purposefully prepared food of various ingredients, such as garlic. Charlotte didn't seem to care, even when I kissed her after eating.
Wait, you kissed her?
I also used a variety of eating utensils. I asked her to help me cook. She helped until I handed her a silver knife. She recoiled as if I handed her a bag of dog shit. Tonight, when I realized Liam might best us both in a fight, I decided to test my theory. I devised a reason for you to draw your weapon, so I could claim you used silver. Didn't you see the terror on his face? Finally, I used the silver knife to stab him. I think it worked quite well, don't you?
I hate that he's right about every single part of that plan.
You shouldn't have stopped me. He was in serious pain. I could have finished him right there, Erica.
I told you, we don't need to kill them. Especially Liam. He's a good person.
No, he isn't. He killed Princent. He works with his family to tyrannize this whole town. What do you think will happen next, Erica? Do you think the Batailles will negotiate with us? At best, they'll kill us. At worst, they'll use their brainwashing powers to control us. To me, that fate is worse than death.
If we kill them, we're no better than they are.
Sure we are. They're the bad guys.
Well, when you put it like that...
Just kidding. We're all bad guys. That's my point.
Let's rewind a moment. You said you kissed Charlotte?
Come now, Erica. Jealousy is beneath you. Besides, it was just an experiment.
Your kiss was just an experiment for garlic? Not sure whether that bothers me more or less.
I feel like this is a trick question.
You're full of tricks, August. You also said that tonight you devised a reason for me to draw my weapon. You manipulated that whole scenario?
Well, I manipulated what I could. I knew that Liam would eagerly put handcuffs on me, and I knew you'd draw your weapon if we got in a scuffle, so I fought back. I wasn't sure how far I'd get, but I also got to test my silver knife.
And now you've made him very, very angry.
You should have let me finish him. I'm not sure if we'll get another chance. Erica, I don't understand why you're so upset right now. Do you want to be Defeat the Batailles or don't you?
Yes.
Then you have to fight dirty and like your life depended on it, because it does.
I still want to put pressure on them through the church. Maybe they'll lose their foothold in town and agree to negotiate.
Negotiate what? A conservative diet? Either way, I suppose we should get some sleep.
I remember the sensual kiss we shared not long ago. I remember how tempted I was to jump into bed with him. But right now, standing together in my room, we're awkward and stiff. He looks around for a moment, frowning.
Where should I sleep?
How about the couch? I can get some blankets for you.
Fine, I've had worse.
I can't do it without the murder first, you understand? The box. What does he know? The next morning, Stacy accosts August and I with questions about the town meeting the night before. We shut her down with grumpy replies and then make our way to City Hall. We fill Maddie in on the latest developments, including the ledger we retrieved from Kathleen's office.
I thought silver was supposed to be a werewolf weakness.
That's... I didn't catch that. That's good. That's important.
I'm surprised you still expect anything to follow expectation. Fair, so where do we find more silver weapons? Surely, Erica, you agree we should be prepared to defend ourselves.
Yes. I'm just afraid you'll follow that logic with the best defense is offense.
Oh no, am I growing predictable? I feel like I missed something, but August is right, Erica. We should get ready for anything. If we have silver weapons, then at least the Batailles will hesitate before attacking.
Fine. I'll prepare silver bullets, but I need to collect more silver first, then visit a welder.
Jamie Maddox should be able to help you with that.
Good. I'm going to take your recommendation, Maddie. We also need to study the ledger we retrieved from Nurse Kathleen. Kathleen explained how many liters of blood a vampire needs each month. We should break that down and look for any abnormalities in the blood supply, such as a fourth Bataille.
I can do that. Call me weird, but I've enjoyed going through paperwork lately. Very weird indeed.
August, you and I should check in on the Lucian Church. We're supposed to be running an investigation after all.
Yes. Can we pretend to find something scandalous, too?
If necessary. I hate to lie, but if deception can save lives and dismantle the Batailles, perhaps it's for the best.
Excellent. I'll concoct some ideas on the way.
I said if. You don't need to immediately generate... That was an if, not a go-ahead. Do you understand the difference? Logic boy. Logic boy, you can't even figure out how to button his own damn shirt. That's right, I'm calling you out. You can get away with it just because your chest is so handsome and muscular and... Fuck. Maddie, help me out on this one. You can approach this with a clearer head. As soon as we step outside... Well, why does she have... What are those? Are those... Tonfa? Is that what those are? What the fuck?
Why not? Why not?
Hold on. Is that what those are? No, Tonfa are something different.
It's the other thingies.
Yeah, okay. I don't know the name of them.
And where do you two think you're going?
How come she gets knives and Julian is just like, I'm gonna fucking punch you in my sun hat? I scowl back at the two vampires, tense for conflict, but August puts on a mischievous grin and waves his hands flippantly.
We're off to investigate the Lucian Church in greater detail. How about you?
Yo, Dun Gordon.
Oh, what good timing. We're here to stop you.
My hand inches toward my gun, but Julian moves forward with blinding speed, leaning close to me and flashing his teeth. If you touch that gun, you'll lose your hand.
We might not even wait for you to draw the gun. The two of you already stabbed our brother with a silver knife. Perhaps we should do the same to you. No, no, your brother Liam is a wanton criminal. Surely you won't protect Principal Vincent's killer. What will the townsfolk think?
Julian draws back, scowling pointedly. Enough of this. Sheriff Wright, you must clear Liam's name. Tell the people of Bataille you made a mistake. August is the true killer. Furthermore, you will stop interfering with the Lucian Church.
Can we not even investigate? Our exploration of the churches has yielded interesting information. For example, we learned that Stacy's silver necklace transformed from a cross to an X when the towers rose.
Silver necklace, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Who is this? Stacy Grenier?
We also learned that Liam has been donating large sums of money to the Christian church for quite some time. I think you mean the Lucian church. No, I mean First Baptist. I found proof in Pastor Reese's ledger.
Oh.
What is that little weasel up to now?
We'll settle the matter between ourselves. Okay, we must still do as we say. Stop meddling in church affairs. Pin Terry Vincent's murder on August. And if I don't?
Then you'll deeply regret it.
What are the name of those knives you have?
Cool knives I found.
Okay. Like any better name than... Oh, they're size. That's what they are.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm sure that's what they're called, yes. That's what I said.
Odds on them being purely ornamental and her having just ripped them off the wall about 10 minutes ago.
Absolutely. Oh, come on. You can do better than that. Give us a real threat. What's the fun in telling you what we'll do? This way it'll be a surprise.
I'm the sheriff of Bataille. I will protect its citizens to the best of my ability. That includes bringing justice to Principal Vincent, and Jessica Murdoch, and Gary Reed. You think you hold so much power in Bataille, but that is only because the people believe in your authority. We know that you're getting blood from Nurse Durand. We know that you're wrapped up in the Lucian Church, and you use it to maintain social status. Once we expose all of your crimes to the people, we'll see how powerful you really are.
Yes, we shall see indeed.
She exchanges a look with Julian, and then they both slink away. Good. Every scene. Once they're fully gone, August turns to me with a scowl.
What the hell are you doing?
Isn't it obvious? I'm bargaining with the only chips at our disposal.
You're showing them our hand. Why did you tell them we talked to Nurse Kathleen?
I told you. I'm trying to scare them. Why did you tell them about Stacy?
To stoke their curiosity. But you're just poking a hornet's nest. Until we're ready to strike, we need to grovel.
I thought you and I would stand up to these murderers. I didn't think you'd just roll over and give up.
I said nothing about giving up, but sometimes rolling over gives you the best aim at their Achilles heel. In any case, the damage is already done. Let's just get to church, shall we?
Yeah. You just go ahead and look forlornly off in the middle distance like that.
I've been practicing.
Is that what you were doing in yourself for all those months? When I would come back and you'd just be staring at, like, part of the wall for, like, hours straight? On our way to the Lucian Church, we stop by Jamie Maddox's house and commission her to make silver bullets. She finds the request strange, but agrees to prepare them. Once at the church, we pretend to investigate the possible gas leak caused by a Christian attack. In truth, we search for more dirt on the Batailles. Put crime tape around the entire building. And although we hope to find the place empty, we encounter a furious Pastor Kimberly waiting for us in her office. I lead her outside to talk. This frees August to search the rest of the church on his own.
I thought you said the building was dangerous. I knew you were lying.
My deputies and I will assume such risks, but you should not.
You can't just close the building like this. The congregation must worship.
Can't you find somewhere else to gather on a Sunday? There are a few abandoned houses you could use around town.
Yes, perhaps, but the Bible teaches us to grow and prosper. To downgrade our service from a church building to an abandoned residence, it's actually sinful.
I shake my head in disbelief. The Lucian Bible is quite different from the one I know. Anyway, God should understand and forgive you, right? You're moving for everyone's safety.
Even so, the Batailles.
What about them?
Well, as you know, they usually attend my sermons. They would hate to congregate in a lesser building. In fact, they already offered their mansion as a place of worship.
My stomach turns. The Batailles responded quickly to this, indeed. I don't like the idea of them holding worship in their mansion. Fortunately, the idea seems to unsettle Pastor Kimberly, too.
I'd rather not worship at the mansion. The Batailles hold enough sway over this church already.
Can you elaborate on that, Kimberly? Maybe I can help you. August comes rushing out of the church, holding up a stack of papers and looking very excited.
Mission accomplished. I found ammunition.
What are those papers, August?
Copies of various documents. I'm so glad the Lucian Church has a copy machine. I have here proof that the Batailles own this property and the church itself. It seems that they collect rent in the form of church donations.
Kimberly turns deathly pale. Is that true, Kimberly?
More or less.
Tell us more, Kimberly. Help us free you from the Bataille's control.
Is that even possible? What would any of us do without the Batailles? We would do whatever the hell we wanted. I'm grateful for the Batailles, but I wish they wouldn't tell me what to preach. That's what I worry about most. Lucius teaches that we should follow those who prosper, but only until we can prosper ourselves. None of us have a chance to prosper if the Batailles control everything. Yes, it's true they take the church donations for themselves. Honestly, they take everything, claiming it's all theirs to begin with. They provide church supplies and they support my livelihood as the pastor, but I am completely at their mercy. If we start holding services at their mansion, too.
That won't be an issue. Our search of the building confirmed that it's safe, right, August?
Well, I'm no expert, but it seems safe to me.
Kimberly scowls at both of us.
It seems like the two of you just want to cause more fighting between the churches. When will it stop?
Probably like 2 chapters from now. Our main goal is to stop the Batailles. Now that we have your support, we'll focus on freeing you from the Batailles' control, Kimberly.
But how?
August gives me a look as if he's curious to hear my plan. I gulp. We're working on that. I mean, if she's in that close contact with the Batailles, then she might also have been, like, nom-nommed on.
Yeah.
Nom-nom-nom!
I'm surprised that they didn't just proactively mind control as many people as possible, at least somewhat.
If there were too many people, it would start, like, I don't think it's logistically feasible for them to get everyone in town. Mm-hmm. And the more people that they glamour, the more suspicious the people will get. There's because you're going to get diminishing returns very quickly.
Yeah.
Until you get all the way up to almost entirely, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you past 1 or 2, it's probably not worth it. Maddie starts with surprise when we walk back into City Hall.
Oh, I didn't hear you two come in.
She grips Nurse Reading words is hard. The hardest part of any video game, honestly. She grips Nurse Kathleen's ledger in her hands. She was very absorbed in it before we came in. Did you find anything interesting?
Maybe. I'm not sure yet. These numbers are very strange. The amount of blood Kathleen disposes of fluctuates each month. As we know, she gives it all to the vampires. I would expect a certain amount of fluctuation based on supply. After all, how many times can Kathleen get the people of Bataille to repeatedly donate blood? But we know how much a vampire needs on average. And the Batailles are consistently taking more than 3 vampires should need.
Oh, you called it! You fucking called it! Oh, yeah! So, you think they're just greedy?
They're vampires. If they felt greedy, they'd go out and bite someone's neck. I suspected Kathleen was still hiding something from us. Maybe this is it.
What are you saying?
I'm saying there are more than 3 vampires.
But I thought she confessed everything. You scared her half to death.
And she still held back. I suspected as much, but I didn't think I could push her any further without taking extreme measures.
I shudder to imagine what you consider extreme.
However cruel you may judge my behavior, she fears the Batailles more than me. She kept another secret.
All right. We'll pay Nurse Kathleen another visit then. We all prepare to leave again. August grabs a snack from the kitchen, and I check the mail that came in while we were out. Sometimes I get letters from townsfolk voicing concerns. suggestions, etc. Anything people don't consider urgent enough to report immediately in Maddie doesn't know how to cook real food. But why would she be getting bit then if she was already a vampire? That doesn't check out. No.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't check out. Who have we not seen outside? The mayor came outside when we were gathering the townsfolk.
Yeah.
We've met most people outside their homes. And the game hasn't been shy about putting the chompers on their sprites either, so.
Mm-hmm.
Though they might have done so in this case, since this turned out to be the real.
What if there's a small vampire society underground in the old mines or something?
Oh, God. Even more.
Like enough vampires to, say, build a ring of 30 odds towers over the course of a couple centuries.
Oh, my. Sometimes I get letters from townsfolk voicing concerns, suggestions, etc. Anything people don't consider urgent enough to report immediately in person. Today I have just one letter. It is sealed by a red wax and printed with the cursed B. I break apart the seal and yank open the letter. Dear Sheriff, I am writing to inform you that your sweet roommate, Stacy Grenier, has permanently relocated. We offered her a job as a maid in our mansion, and she accepted. We're providing room and board, so Stacy will be staying with us at the Bataille mansion indefinitely. Yours, Charlotte Bataille, speaking in my brother's voice.
Oh, the Bataille curse.
Yes, there's a lot of that going around. I lose track of time as I stand at my desk, reading the letter over and over. My hand trembles so that I can no longer read the words.
Erica, what's that?
August gently pulls the letter from my grasp and reads it for himself.
What's going on?
Grimly, August passes on the letter. The Batailles have Stacy. It's a threat, right? It has to be.
Absolutely. This is how they'll get you to behave, Erica. They'll keep Stacy as a permanent hostage.
Either that, or they keep trying to turn people, and it keeps not sticking for whatever reason.
If you don't comply with their demands, they'll harm her. Perhaps kill her.
No. No, they wouldn't dare. I grab my things and head for the door. I'm going to look for her. Maybe this is a bluff.
I doubt that, but I'll come with you. So will I.
Fine. We'll check the dollar store first. She was supposed to work today. Not Stacy, who we met 2 times. Stacy seemed fine. Oh yeah, she was also our lead about that something hinky happened when the churches switched over.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I want you to know that when I Google psi, the weapon is the first result, and the second thing is a software for making signs. That's it.
Awesome.
Stacy's not at the dollar store. Her coworker complains to us that Stacy never showed up for work, and she had to open the store alone. I hurry home next. Everything looks normal, but Stacy is nowhere to be found. Her room seems undisturbed. It doesn't look to me like she packed up to relocate. But none of this gives me comfort in the wake of Stacy's complete and total absence. No, this can't be! It's not like Stacy to skip work without telling anyone, but there are no signs of a struggle.
The Batailles wouldn't need to struggle to capture Stacy, Erica. Perhaps they compelled her. Perhaps they threatened her, as they're doing to you now. But why would they do this to us? So Erica will give in to their demands. What demands? What do they want?
They want us to stay out of church affairs, and they want me to exonerate Liam.
How? He confessed.
Yes, but... I look at August. He scowls back at me. Maddie shifts awkwardly. I think she senses that August and I need a moment alone.
I'll take another look at Stacy's room. Are you actually considering this? You'd turn me in to save Stacy.
No, but...
But what? You're the one who pulled me back from despair with a speech about stopping the Batailles. But we can't stop them through negotiation. You follow rules of order and decency. They don't. Therefore, they will always have the upper hand.
You're right. We have to stop them. By force. We have to stop them through negotiation. And negotiation is the name of my gun with silver bullets in. August moves closer to me, his voice dropping and thrumming with intensity.
Speak clearly, Erica. What will we do next?
I meet his gaze, goosebumps prickling across my body. We have to kill them. He responds with a kiss that sends my heart racing. We grip each other fiercely as we fall into the kiss, barely staying on our feet. I feel as if we're flying, and when we finally pull away, breathless.
Let's devise our approach.
Yes, we need a plan that doesn't endanger Stacy.
That will be hard, but we can try. Is there anyone we can hold hostage in exchange? Nurse Kathleen, perhaps Pastor Kimberly.
I don't like that idea.
How do you like the idea of Stacy's bloodless corpse? Because that's what you'll see if we fail. We'll table it for now. After all, we can't threaten them outright, because we'd lose in a simple fight. We'll have to begin by pretending they won.
Right. We'll make sure Stacy is safe, and then ask them what they need from us to free her.
You will ask them. You must talk to them alone, I think. They want me behind bars. I would not comply to this willingly.
I'll do this alone? He caresses my cheek with surprising tenderness.
I'll be nearby, of course. I will search the mansion. If I find one of them alone, I'll dispatch them right away. I can help too.
Maddie returns looking mildly embarrassed but determined.
I could help August explore the mansion. Yes, I like that. We can work together to take them down, like raptors.
Clever girl.
Erica, when Maddie and I first sneak in, you need to distract all the Batailles. But once we give you the signal, do what you can to separate them.
What is the signal?
I don't know. I'm not sure what we'll be working with. Hopefully you'll understand when you see or hear it.
August, I need you to be more specific. Where in the mansion do you plan to go? How will I know where to direct them?
You'll have to improvise. We all will. A rigid plan breaks too easily. We all need to stay light on our feet.
I don't like this. The only weakness we know about is silver and sunlight, but I don't think that's enough to kill them.
Wrong. They have another weakness: pride. They believe they cannot be defeated. They'll keep their guard down, and then we'll prove them wrong. Damn right we will. But, I need a silver weapon.
I think we have silver steak knife in the kitchen.
Right, I'll go look.
As soon as she's gone, I fall into August's arms. Don't want anything to happen to you.
Nor are you. If something did, I'd be...
Torn up? Heartbroken?
I would die to avenge you.
Just be careful in there, okay?
Careful? No. Be daring, Erica. Be wild. It's the only way we'll win.
Be Derica?
I like that.
I like that one too. You know, for chapter 10, I believe this is the final chapter.
Damn.
Yeah. At least according to the quick overview I looked at of the game, so we would know like about how long we had for each thing. It's low adding. All right, so fourth vampire we don't know about. Either that or they keep trying to turn people and it keeps failing, which is why it fluctuates. Or underground vampire society. Vamp-society, if you will. I knock on the door of the Bataille mansion. I take a long, deep breaths to stop my trembling, and it doesn't work. Put my hand on my gun, remembering that it's loaded with silver bullets. August and Maddie have already snuck into the mansion through a side window. I need to distract the vampires long enough for August and Maddie to explore, then split up the vampires. The door opens more quickly than usual. That's because Stacy's on the other side of it.
Welcome to the Bataille. Oh, Erica.
Oh, they didn't give you a maid outfit?
That's not arrived on the train yet.
Oh, fair enough.
It was part of the compensation package, though.
Joy and uncertainty wore on her face.
Why are you here? Can I help you with something?
Why are you here, Stacy? Are the Batailles threatening you?
Threatening me? No, of course not. They gave me a wonderful job. I love working in this big mansion. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you before I left, but I figured we'd see each other again soon enough and I could explain. Isn't this just wonderful?
Is that why you left literally everything and didn't bring anything with you, and also the bite marks that we're about to know? So, you've been brainwashed.
What? I don't understand.
Batailles are vampires, Stacy. They must have drank your blood and compelled you to do this.
You're joking, right? Such a comedian, that one. Whoa.
There it is, there it is. Charlotte's maniacal laugh follows her into the doorway.
Why, hello, Sheriff. Fancy seeing you here.
Sherika. Charlotte, I came to talk.
So I figured. Stacy, show our guest to the dining room. Get her something to drink. Certainly, mistress.
Stacy scurries away, and I reluctantly follow Charlotte inside. What's that smell?
It's blood.
It's blood. What's weird is that the one time we saw the interior of the mansion, it was all like entirely red,
Yeah.
which kind of on the nose,
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Here's your new mansion. It's red, so you can't see the blood. It's also electric.
It's also electric,
so you can kill without a sound.
See, entirely red. In the dining room, Charlotte practically purrs at me while wearing a smug smile. Hidden Charlotte route? Hidden Charlotte route?
Erica, darling, you need to be careful what you tell people. You'll just confuse them with talk of vampires and brainwashing.
Did you brainwash Stacy? Is that why she's so confused?
Stacy's quite happy to be here, as you saw for yourself.
Please, Charlotte, you need to speak plainly so that we understand each other. What will it take for me to free Stacy from your control? Charlotte's smile fades and her eyes narrow as she takes a moment to measure me.
Here's some water, Erica. I couldn't find much to drink in the kitchen. Would you like some wine?
I remember that my job is to distract the vampires until Maddie and August give me some sort of signal. No, thank you, Stacy, but could you fetch Julian and Liam? I need to talk to everyone.
Oh, I don't exactly know where Liam is, but... just get Julian.
My stomach knots. We're going to discuss clearing Liam's name, right? Shouldn't he be here for that?
Julian and I will make those decisions. Move along, Stacy. Sure thing. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Stacy hurries away. Is Liam here in the mansion?
That's not your concern.
It is my concern if he's roaming free while people still think he's a murderer. There could be a misunderstanding.
And whose fault is that? You're the one who went and called him a dangerous fugitive. But no, he's not roaming free, so stop worrying. Julian and I are watching him for now.
Watching him?
He needed to learn a lesson about supporting the Baptists behind our back. He's more secure now than he was under your care. Trust me.
I exhale slightly with relief. If Liam is nearby but restricted somehow, that should make him easier to deal with once the fighting begins. Charlotte and I continue to scrutinize each other in Stacy's absence. We remained that way for a long time, quiet and tense, until... Charlotte seems to decide something, then starts moving toward me. I stiffen. My arm must be bent instinctively. Then she closes the remaining distance with a blur of movement. One of her hands grips my gun arm, the other reaches up to caress my cheek.
Are you finally ready to admit defeat, darling?
I'm here to negotiate.
That's a pity. Things would be so much easier if you just gave in. We could have a lot of fun together.
Charlotte, what's going on? As Charlotte turns to Julian, I wriggle free and back away from Charlotte. I'm here to free Stacy. Oh, good. Then do as we asked. Clear Liam's name and leave the Lucian Church alone. After I do that, you'll release Stacy?
We'll consider it.
That's not good enough. How do I know you won't keep her as a hostage forever?
Because we'll do whatever the hell we want.
You must understand something, Erica. You do not carry the power here. Whether you comply with our demands or not, we could always take another hostage. We could always do as we wished. That said, we are not monsters seeking to sow evil. We wish to maintain peace in Bataille as you do. We simply have different methods. The conflict between your office and my family risks disarray. The sooner you accept... Everyone jumps with surprise as a loud crash shakes the air. accompanied by the sound of glass shattering. Charlotte and Julian exchange puzzled glances. Meanwhile, my heart races. Did something go wrong, or was this the signal from August and Maddie?
Damn it, that better not have been an antique. Stacy, was that you?
No one answers.
Oh, it's so hard to find good help these days. Sheriff, I'll play more with you later.
Charlotte runs off to investigate while Julian stays with me. My heart races faster. The vampires are split up now. The fighting will start soon. Julian watches me intently. He starts to walk closer with slow steps. Erica, what's wrong? I'm fine. He stops just next to me, almost close enough to touch, while peering down into my eyes. No, you're not. Your heart is beating like a rabbit's. I'm worried about Stacy. Will Charlotte hurt her? Julian puts one hand on my shoulder. The other touches my chin and guides it up, forcing my gaze to his. He looks genuinely concerned. What is really wrong, Erica? Something isn't right. Do you even plan to cooperate with us? Tell me the truth. Energy emanates from his gaze. I feel as if his command yanks me from the inside, compelling me to tell him everything. I steel my resolve and I clamp my lips shut. I take a deep breath and manage to release it without a word. Julian steps back, the focus in his eyes shattered and replaced with shock. How did you... Never mind. I wish we could have resolved this differently, Sheriff, but I can sense your deception. Stay still. I'll have to get the truth from you another way. He opens his mouth. His lips pull back from his fangs. He grabs my shoulders and leans toward my neck. I want to reach for my gun, but my muscles are slow to respond.
No.
Saved by the combat lesbians. A strong impact knocks both Julian and I over. In my sluggishness, I collapse on the ground, and Julian slams on top of me. I feel warm blood on my chest.
I won't let you touch anyone again, Julian.
Again? But behind Julian, I see Maddie raise a bloody knife over him. Follow Julian's gaze to his arm, which bleeds from the back shoulder. As Maddie sends the knife plunging towards Julian's back, he snarls and turns. He smacks her arm violently. The knife flies away, and Maddie steps back with a cry of pain, holding her arm. I wonder if he struck hard enough to break the bone. Madeline, what are you... Ah! He groans and clutches the back of his shoulder in agony. Then he retrieves his hand and stares in awe at his own blood.
I did what I should have done as soon as I learned what you did to me.
Hurts so bad. Ah! He launches up again, fangs bared. I see him flying across the room toward Maddie, and I know this bite is not meant to compel her, it is meant to kill. My arms ache from the jolt of the shots. My ears ring and the room is deathly silent until... Julian stumbles to the side, knocking over candles and glasses as he tries to remain standing. He now has 3 bloody holes in his back, the gash from Maddie's knife and 2 holes from my silver bullets.
Yeah.
Maddie raises her knife with her good arm and rushes toward him again. This time she plunges it into his chest, throwing her body into the blow and driving him into the ground. Julian thrashes weakly on the floor while Maddie drives the knife deeper into his chest, but she can only use her uninjured arm.
Erica, help!
I don't want to kill, but I see the pure rage on Julian's face. I know that if I don't do this, Maddie and I are both dead. I rush forward and close my hand above Maddie's on the knife. Together we drive the tip deep into his heart. Oh. His last cry fades into silence. His arms fall limp and his breath stops. Maddie and I continue to clutch the knife, panting in terror.
Did we kill him?
I think so.
Oh.
Maddie falls back, clutching her arm. Are you all right?
I guess so. I mean, my arm's broken, but I'll live.
Where's August?
I don't know. We split up some time ago. We found something like a secret passage, I guess, leading underground. But I think he must be upstairs where he caused that crash. Erica, Maddie Gray, what's going on?
A lesbian fight club, don't worry about it. Her gaze falls on Julian.
Ah! What did you do to Master Julian?
He's not your master, Stacy, and I already tried to tell you. He's a vampire.
No. You lost your mind.
You always said you thought demons took the world on the day of the contingency, right? What if some of those demons are vampires?
I don't... The Batailles are a nice family. They gave me a job in their mansion.
Stacy seems to get dizzy. She almost falls over and has to catch the table for support.
I have an idea of what she's feeling right now. She's fighting the brainwashing, but mostly just confused. I'll stay with her. You go help August.
Right. I take a deep breath and head reluctantly towards the hall.
Give him hell, Sheriff. Sherika.
Thank you. One last one for the road. I hear more sounds of fighting in the distance. Wow, there's so many environments we're only seeing like once in the background here. I guess that's what we get for not doing one of the Bataille routes, right?
Yeah.
I follow the sounds to the upper east wing. I find a garish scene of August hopping about the room, occasionally swiping his knife, while Charlotte chases and dodges. They're both too distracted to notice me, so I crouch behind some furniture, waiting for my chance to strike. Charlotte moves so fast I can barely keep up. I don't think August even tries. His movements are completely sporadic, nonsensical, jumping and slicing every which way. He wears a maniacal grin and shouts with some of his movements.
Over here. And here. Oh, I felt that. So close. Almost got you. Whoops. Try again. Ah!
Before Charlotte tried to jab August with the sai in her hands. This time she just rams him with her whole body. He falls and slides across the floor. Charlotte walks up and puts her foot on his chest as she towers over him.
Not bad. You dance quite nicely, August. So do you, Charlotte. I've never had a dance partner like you before. You move with the grace and ferocity of a wild animal. Is that a compliment? It's not an insult. Oh, it seems like a shame to kill you, but you look so delicious.
She crouches down over him, mouth stretching for a bite of his neck. My shot misses the mark, hitting her arm instead of her chest, but it's enough to make her shriek with pain and turn towards me.
Why, you?
She starts to get up off him, then yanks him off the ground, holding him in front of her like a shield, reprising the very first scene of the game.
You'll have to shoot him to get to me, darling.
All right, August. I didn't like this, but I'm going to shoot through again. Fine with me.
Oh, then why haven't you fired again?
She cackles with delight as she watches the confusion on my face. My gun wavers and lowers. August wriggles in Charlotte's grip, but he can't quite get free. His knife is on the other side of the room.
Look at you, Erica, working with the Heartbreaker. I never thought I'd see the day. But either of you could have joined me instead. Why must you be so foolish? I'm the one that freed you, August. I would have let you be who you are. We could have killed together. I never thought of it that way. Is that offer still on the table?
Charlotte hesitates a moment, confused. Her grip on him must falter because he suddenly frees an arm, pulls a small canister out from under his shirt, and sprays it in her face.
Ah!
She staggers backwards, covering her face in agony. August scampers across the room to retrieve his knife. Charlotte starts to move again, recovering fast. I glance at the discarded canister, and it looks like ordinary mace. I aim another shot.
Ah!
This one hits her other arm. Now each one is wounded.
You fucking worms! Fucking Silver! I'll kill you both!
She starts toward me, flailing furiously, but now August has his knife, and he grabs her from behind. With a deft stroke, he plunges the knife into her chest.
Who's killing who now?
Charlotte slips to the floor with a groan. She reaches weakly for the knife, still protruding from her ribs. It's not plunged to the hilt. August falls on top of her, catching her hands with his own.
Now then, are you ready to die, Charlotte Bataille? No, please. Tell me about the contingency. Give me a reason not to push one more inch of this blade into your chest, because I know the tip rests just against your heart.
How many shots have we fired, by the way, at this point?
4?
4 or 5? Okay.
I just wanted to protect Bataille. What?
What?
Fuck you.
She starts to struggle again. August puts pressure on the knife, making her fall back with a cry.
Why was it you? What made you so special? Oh, Augie, don't you know I am special? I am all that matters. I am the passion. I am the enforcer.
I wonder if her pain is making her delirious, but August has hints of tears in his eyes mixing with his rage.
Not this time you aren't. Goodbye, Charlotte.
Actually, the name of the gate... Never mind. He plunges the knife deep. With one last breath, Charlotte goes still. Sometimes I can still hear her voice.
Oh!
August reaches up and closes her eyes. The motion is slow, careful, and tender. What more is there here that we're not getting? Then he puts both hands on the knife and resumes cutting. August, what are you doing? She's dead. He ignores me, continuing to cut. I look away, too disgusted to watch as he reaches in and tears open her ribs. I listen a long time to the gruesome sounds of August's work. He must be taking out her heart, this time with very little tools of preparation. Finally, I hear a wet thud as August pins the heart on the ground with his knife. Then he starts to flay it open. Reach over and put my hand on his. August, it's done. Why open it?
To release her desires, but you're right. She doesn't deserve that. The only desire she had was to consume.
And what do you... She hinted at some things there towards the end that we have no idea about, like, to defend Bataille from what? She was the most important person here? Why?
A number of people have floated the towers are there to defend Bataille thing.
Yep. With grim resolve, he retrieves the knife and stands.
So, where are the others?
I'm relieved to find Maddie and Stacy still in the dining room where I left them. August ignores them and studies Julian's body.
You didn't remove his heart.
I don't really think that's necessary. Ignoring me, August bends down and gets to work pulling out Julian's heart.
Ah!
And Stacy's out again. I mean, I'm torn between him thinking this is necessary to prevent a vampire from still continuing to live, and like a physical compulsion he has as a as a serial murderer.
Probably both.
At her wit's end, Stacy runs out of the room still screaming.
August, I was working on her.
August doesn't seem to hear her, intent yet again on his task. I focus my attention on Maddie. Do you have any idea where Liam is?
I tried to ask Stacy about that. She said he's staying downstairs, whatever that means, and he's not supposed to come out. August and I saw a passage leading into the ground when we first started exploring. Maybe that's what she meant.
The mines! August perks up, glancing back over us with bloody hands.
Ah, yes. I'm very curious to explore down there.
Are you finished?
Almost.
August drives Julian Hart into the ground with his knife. He hesitates again, then pulls it back out. Maddie gags. I put a hand on her shoulder. Are you sure you want to continue?
I think so. I never killed before. It feels... necessary?
August wipes his knife off on Julian's suit and stands back up.
Let's go find Liam.
I follow August and Maddie deep down a hallway I've never seen before. August points to the floor, which shows traces of dirt near one of the doors. August opens the door. Before us, we see steps leading underground. The walls are caked with dirt and loose stone. Instead of electricity, torches are the only rebel against the darkness. We all exchange wary glances. You really think Liam would be down here?
Stacy did say downstairs. I haven't seen any other stairs leading down.
The grin on his face, August hurries into the hall. Maddie and I reluctantly follow. The lead mines. Or just a tunnel. But we already know what's underneath Bataille. Oh, cool! We're doing fucking dungeon shit now.
Hell yeah.
At the bottom of the stairs, we find ourselves in a dark cave-like hall with barred rooms. I'm not sure how to describe it other than...
a dungeon?
Grin widening, he hurries forward.
Hello? Anyone down here? If you're enemies of the Batailles, then you might be friends of ours.
August, maybe we should... We all freeze as a bone-chilling sound vibrates through the stones. I'm not sure whether to describe the growl I heard as a beast or a man's. Once he recovers, August moves toward the sound. August! Maddie and I hurry after him, but we haven't gone far when something slams against the bars of a nearby cell. Then it crouches in the light and roars at us. Even though he has the body and the face of a human, I still want to call him a creature. He stands in a hunched pose, arms curled like a feral beast, his hair and his beard untrimmed and wild. It's a man who's older than the other Batailles. He wears the remnants of a suit that must have been refined once. Now it is filthy and tattered. But worst of all are his eyes, glowing red with more intensity than Julian's ever did. They stretch wide open as he stares at me, pupils dilating like a cat preparing to pounce.
Why, hello there. Erica, I think we found the fourth vampire.
Come here. I step a little closer as if somehow a closer look will help me better understand what I'm looking at. I jump away barely in time to miss the clawed hand swiping at me through the bars. My heart thuds in my throat. One blink later and this monster would have had me. You should probably stay away from him. We all turn to the next cell. We see Liam against the wall of the prison, his wrists wrapped with unusual shackles. August twirls his knife.
Ah, look at this. 2 vampires served up on a silver platter.
Liam stares in horror at August's bloody visage. What? What happened up there? I heard gunshots. You first. Who is this creature in the cell across from you? That's my father, Gustave Bataille.
He was still in Bataille?
He's been down here a long time. It's not safe to let him out. So, he's a vampire? Yeah, more than the rest of us. He lost the last of his humanity a long time ago. Now please tell me what's going on.
We killed Julian and Charlotte. Now we're here to kill you.
Oh God, they're really dead?
Weren't they always dead? Isn't that how this works? Either way, their hearts are splayed on the floor of the mansion you bought with the blood of this town, so...
Looks like he's about ready to mic drop a knife. You bastard! I turn around to a nightmarish scene. Gustave holds Stacy against the bars of his cell, fangs deep in her arm. As her scream fades, she hangs her head and goes limp. How did Stacy get down here? Stacy, what the fuck? I lift my gun and fire at Gustave. He draws back in a spray of blood, but I'm not sure it's his. Stacy collapses, still bleeding from her arm. Maddie rushes to her side. Get away from the bars! Get away from the bars! Maddie obeys, quickly pulling Stacy far from Gustave's cell. From a safe distance, I try to peer inside, but I don't know where Gustave went. Be careful, he's more powerful than the rest of us, especially if he's had blood.
Don't believe anything Liam says. He wants to see us fail.
I want to live! And if you let Dad free, he might kill us all. Let me help you. Take these silver cuffs off me.
It's really true. You're all monsters.
Stacy's finally recovering from her confusion, but the horror on her face is not much of an improvement.
Why did you come down here, Stacy? I followed you down here. I wanted to protect Liam, but... Oh God, help me.
Stacy, do you have the keys to these cuffs? Please, for everyone's sake, you need to let me out.
I think so. I just...
A large rat scurries past us.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's... The rat's body bulges suddenly. And before I have time to process what I'm seeing, Gustave materializes in a heap of raveling flesh. Oh, shit. A dark streak moves past me, and then Gustave descends on Maddie. They both collapse to the ground in a heap. I lift my gun, but as the two of them wrestle on the floor, I'm afraid to aim and hit Maddie on accident. But not Stacy. August leaps on Gustave with his knife, but Gustave flings him off with a quick shove of one arm, sending him several feet into the air and flying backwards. Stacy, do it! Free Liam! Stacy nods and reaches for a ring of keys in her pocket. I pull up my knife and jump on Gustave next. I manage to sink the knife about an inch into his back, but then he turns and pounces back at me. The impact with the floor knocks most of my breath from my body. Stars dance in my vision. Then I see 2 red eyes peering down at me, drawing closer. Liam jumps onto Gustave, driving him against the wall. I help Maddie get up. Then all the remaining humans get up and back away from the 2 fighting vampires. I can barely make out what's happening. Glimpses of Liam's blue shirt are my only clue of where he is from one second to the next. The 2 vampires spin, jump, snap, and snarl with inhuman speed, swirling around the hallway in a storm of limbs and fangs. Gustave reels in place. I sense that Liam managed to slam his head against the wall. Hard. Liam grabs Gustave's arms and yanks them back, locking them tight. Now! Do it now! August doesn't hesitate. He rushes forward with the knife and then plunges it into Gustave's exposed chest. Gustave gasps, his red eyes opening wide.
I wonder, old man, can you tell me anything I don't already know?
What are you doing? Finish it!
You must know something. You built the towers, or your family did. Tell me. Anything.
What? Go to the 17th floor. Second desk on the northeast side. Find the true scripture.
What do you mean?
There was something in that fucking... Liam pushes Gustav forward, giving August no choice but to risk being bitten or drive his knife deeper. He chooses the latter. The silver knife drives home in Gustav's heart. He gives one last gasp and then collapses. Liam lets go and scrambles backward. Immediately, August gets to work removing Gustav's heart. Horror and despair rack Liam's face. Dad! Dad, I'm sorry! He collapses against the wall, struggling to hold back sobs. My gun feels heavy in my hand. I start to lift it and then stop again.
Erica.
August looks up angrily and hands still deep in Gustav's chest.
We can't stop now.
Please, I helped you. I don't want anyone else to die. Please, just let me go. I wish I could, Liam. But where would you go?
There's nowhere to go. Do it, Erica.
I lift the gun. Wait. I could try to walk between the towers. That's suicide. Maybe for humans. As for me, I don't know what will happen. I've always wondered, but I was too scared to try. And now what other option do I have? My family is dead. The town thinks I'm a murderer. Please, just let me go out on my own terms. August pins Gustav's heart down on the floor.
Gustav turned into a rat, yes? Do you have any ability like that? Is that why you wore silver handcuffs?
Ha ha ha! Got him! Wait, if he could turn into a rat, why'd they put him in such an ineffective cell?
I don't know.
Huh. No.
He's lying, obviously.
If he wanted to try something, August, he could have tried it already.
He's weak and outnumbered. If we give him another chance...
We won't. We'll go do it right now.
I'm with Erica. Let Liam leave. I agree. Please have mercy and stop killing. Well, we did set out to kill 3 vampires. 3 vampires are dead. Fine, I admit I'm curious to see what happens when a vampire tries crossing the towers.
You have weird priorities, August.
You're just learning this now.
You know what? Fair. Normally we'd cut the episode here, but I have a feeling we're getting very close to the end, so
Yeah.
I'm tempted to keep going on this one.
Let's roll.
Let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Come on, low ad faster. Oh, mispronouncing words. Bloody and tired, we all escort Liam out of the Bataille mansion, then make our way to the tower perimeter. Once we're as close as we can safely walk, I motion for everyone to stop. Okay, Liam, you'll walk through from here.
Erica, you still have silver bullets, right?
I'm not sure I have any left, but I grip my teeth and nod anyway.
Remember not to try anything foolish, Liam.
Liam nods grimly. He steps forward, then sideways, as if lining himself up with the nearest tower. Liam, Good luck. He glances back at me, but doesn't respond. Then he turns around and keeps walking. We all watch with bated breath as Liam approaches the tower. He walks with grave intent, staying on a perfect line towards the red beam of the tower. At last he's close enough to the tower to touch it. He stops, and he looks up. I finger my gun, hoping he doesn't break his word. I don't think I have any more silver bullets after all. Then he steps between the towers and jumps forward. Chills rushed through me. I remember hearing that sound when Jones tried to step through and lost his own head. I see a red mist where Liam once stood. His clothes fall limply to the ground, but I don't see a headless body inside of them.
Did he just vaporize?
I don't know.
Fascinating.
Stacy clasps her hand and bows her head, praying quietly. We watch the vague cloud of mist for as long as we can, but before long, it dissipates. We stand and wait for some time, waiting for a sign that Liam might be alive or dead, and we see none.
Can we please go home now?
Yes. Stacy, you can go back to your real home now. A hand clasps mine firmly. I turn to see August standing next to me, smiling from above his bloody visage.
Why don't you and I find a new home, my love? I hear a beautiful mansion just went on the market.
Yeah, but I also hear it's a real fixer-upper.
We've got our own dungeon now.
Yeah, let's go. We're not going to go to the 17th floor?
God damn it.
I also love how this clearly just raises even more questions.
Yeah.
Why did Liam die in a different manner?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is with... How... Gustav, clearly they didn't trust, but was also cogent enough to tell us something.
Yeah.
They said he had no humanity, but he was clearly able to talk to us.
The true scripture.
The true scripture.
He says. Which is interesting, this whole thing that's got this arc about the two scriptures and which one's the true one, and then it's neither of them?
And, like, we're only getting vague bits and pieces about all of, like, this weird eldritch stuff going on.
Yeah.
A few days later, August and I gather in the Bataille mansion dining room with several important members of town. We decided that a small gathering of the Bataille's leadership was the best way to spread the news of recent events. The gathering includes Nurse Kathleen, Pastor Kimberly of the Lucian Church, Pastor Jeremy of the First Baptist Christian Church, Mayor Ward, Colleen Hughes from the Order of the Line, and Tip Wagner of Freedom's Dawn.
Thank you all so much for coming. We have a lot to discuss, so I'll go ahead and jump to the first item. The Batailles are all dead.
You found a new shirt, but you couldn't find a way to button it up?
I get these made bespoke.
Gasps spread around the room. Wagner slams his fist on the table and stands up.
What happened to him? Did you kill him, Fad?
Yes, August and I both did, because the Batailles were all vampires. This time a dead silence falls over the crowd. Wagner just looks at me like I've gone mad. Kathleen and Mayor Ward both look down at their laps, afraid to meet anyone's gaze. Mayor Ward, will you please confirm my statement? The mayor flushes beet red, but after a moment of enduring everyone's incredulous stares, he finally speaks. Yes, all right. Damn it, it's true.
This is a joke, right? You're using vampire like some sort of metaphor. Oh, don't act like you didn't already know it. Maybe the full picture eluded you, but they've been stealing the vitality of the earth and the strength of your labor for over a century. And you let it happen because of the seductive idea that you could be like them, ignoring that they gained their power through birthright or arbitrary...
Let's not cloud the issue, August. We mean that they are literal vampires. They drank people's blood. There's another person here who can confirm this. Nurse Kathleen. Kathleen squirms in her chair.
Ah, yes.
Nurse Kathleen, who looks like a very grown-up and despondent Emma Skye. Can you please explain to everyone how you helped the Batailles?
I just followed orders. They wanted me to collect blood for them on a regular basis, but it's not like I wanted to help them. You just followed orders. Come on, could you implicate yourself with any more specificity? I mean, I was curious about them from a scientific standpoint, but really, I thought collecting blood was the best way to keep people safe. Mayor Ward wanted me to do it too. I gave these two the same voice by accident.
You
Man,
did?
How long did you know about all this?
Doesn't matter. For everyone's safety, I had to go along with it. I couldn't overthrow them, and I couldn't cause a panic. I had to strike a bargain. They behaved themselves. Julian kept that train coming in. Nurse Kathleen gathered blood so they didn't have to hurt anyone. The Batailles built this town. They supervised it from the get-go. Who knows what else they did behind the scenes so we all could survive? And who knows how often they abused that power? They didn't behave themselves as agreed, Mayor Ward. They only tricked us into believing so. Oh yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with the train now. Everyone might just die.
Yeah, huh?
Liam killed Princent, and before that the others killed Jessica and Gary. Gasps and shocked faces spread across the room. They covered up Jessica and Gary's murder by impersonating the Bataille Repatriation Society. They faked letters from the society and make it look like the two teenagers had escaped. You're sure they're really dead? Can you approve it? August throws a backpack onto the table.
This is Gary Reed's backpack. We found it in Charlotte Bataille's closet. It has his blood stains on it, and possibly Jessica's too.
I was going to say, that is the one thing that we didn't ever come across like solid evidence of, and that could have been like maybe there is a real one out there, but no, that would seem to do it, yeah. Mayor Ward starts to look as though through the backpack, then sets it aside when he realizes how much blood is on it. I wait somberly as everyone around the table inspects it to their satisfaction.
God have mercy. Vampires. It's all starting to make sense. I had my suspicions about the Batailles, you know. Always did. I thought they were the lesser evil, the enemy of my enemy, but no man who wants my blood is my friend. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, because we killed
Please
them all.
stop looking smug and self-satisfied.
Do you have any plans for running the train?
Not yet, but we've been going through Julian's correspondences. He regularly sent money with a cryptic message attached. We think we could continue the pattern enough to keep the train running.
Please let me help in this task. The Order of the Line's been studying and protecting the train for some time. We'll do whatever we can to protect it. Your lot is just a bunch of rail-chasing sycophants. You can't be trusted with the town's supplies.
I'll be happy to discuss it with you further, Colleen.
What? And who put you in charge? We put ourselves in charge.
Much to my own shock, August jumps suddenly onto the table, towering over us all. He reaches with a hand to me with a cockeyed grin. I find myself smiling back. I grab his hand and I step onto the table with him.
You're all free of the Batailles. You're all free to do what you want, within your means. As for Erica and I, we live in this mansion now. We control the train now, and we too will do as we please.
True monster ending?
Hold on now, you can't just run around killing people and taking mansions.
August pulls out his knife with a graceful stroke and spins it on his fingers.
No. Then perhaps we should fight for it. Care to challenge me to a duel?
Wagner gulps noticeably.
Don't worry, we will not be your masters as the Batailles were. There should be no masters. We will distribute everything on the train fairly, without favor or prejudice. However...
He raises his knife again.
If anyone deigns to take more than they need...
I put my hand gently on August's hand, lowering the knife. This is a lot of information for you all to absorb. Take your time. We decided against a town meeting to avoid widespread panic. Tell your communities when and how you see fit. Those decisions are yours to make. Are you still our sheriff? I take off my badge and study it curiously. Yes and no. A sheriff is a term for the old world, a world with complex justice system and a world of law and order. I will do my best to continue protecting the people of Bataille. That is my objective. But our laws are obsolete. We have no government and we have no order. August and I exchange grins and clasp hands. The new world is whatever we choose to make of it. Found a really menacing way to make this an uplifting ending, huh?
The new world is what we choose to make of it. And by the way, we includes a serial killer who's killed a lot of people really gruesomely and enjoys doing that, by the way, just so y'all know.
Just so y'all know.
Just so y'all know. He did confess to the whole Heartbreaker thing.
This is so cool. I feel like it takes a little bit to hit its stride, but there is so much going on in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap. I really love this. If you just made it to the end here, awesome. I hope you enjoyed the series. We want to play the other routes.
We sure do.
But we're going to take a break from it for a little while so we can play some other stuff on the channel. When we come back, we will do the other 3 routes, which I believe all branch off around chapter 6 or so. I don't know how many episodes that wound up being, but I anticipate that'll probably be like another 3 episodes per route or something, maybe.
Something like that.
So it'll probably be like another series about this length where we do the other endings. Because I don't know about y'all, but I need to know more about this.
Oh, yeah.
This is too cool. But we're gonna wait and find a place to slip it into the schedule when it's no longer a Patreon priority, as it were. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our playthrough. Y'all know the drill. I'm just vamping for time in case there's a post-credits thing. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I guess if you need to know which one we're doing Maddie route next.
Oh,
of course
yeah.
Well, of course we're doing the gay route next. After I feel like we'll go Maddie, then Liam, and then Julian.
That seems about right.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. We got a post-credit. August and I take our time returning to City Hall. Now that we live in the mansion, it's hard to want to go anywhere else. City Hall is full of unpleasant memories and heavy responsibilities. I believe I earned a break from all that when I freed the town from vampires. But perhaps what weighs on August and I the most is the possibility of exploring the upper floors again.
Oh, yeah?
We can't ignore what Gustave Bataille told us about the desk on the 17th floor. But we also can't forget the harrowing futility of our first exploration. August especially seems reluctant to ascend.
Even if we find something, I reject whatever a man like Gustave would wish to bestow upon me.
You also yell, 17th floor! In your sleep. We have to look, August. We may find nothing, and that's fine, but if we do...
Let's just get this over with.
Are they going to make me climb all the way up to it?
Is the true scripture going to be the thing that creates vampires?
Or is it going to... I was thinking it might be an explanation for what the towers are.
I have to know.
The trek to the 17th floor is long and exhausting, like the first time. Each floor looks the same, so it's easy to lose track. As soon as we get to floor 15, we start checking the desks in the northeast corner. We also check the opposite corner because we can't be certain of the cardinal directions in this place. By the time we reach the 17th floor, August is surly. He goes to each desk with quick, angry movements. I wait for him at the second desk. I think this is it.
You thought the last floor might be it.
True, and if it's not here, it might be the corner over there. But...
Fuck it.
August yanks open the top drawer. Stops. Inside, we find a large book titled The Holy Bible. It has a large red X beneath the title. August and I exchange looks, and he picks it up and starts looking through it. How similar is it to the other Lucian Bibles?
It contains a lot of the same books, but it's bigger, I think.
Look, near the middle, the pages have gold trim. August flips to the gilded pages.
The book of Esther with a Z. That's strange.
That's good news, right? We discovered something new. Let's take it back down with us. August ignores me, his eyes already scanning the scriptures as quickly as possible.
This is very bizarre. And behold, Lucius had a vision of the end of earth, the end of air, the end of light, the end of auras.
Auras? August shrugs, then keeps reading.
And so Lucius convened a meeting of the four, and he asked for their help. And the other three came. Triglav, the many-faced beast, Zivina, the Lady of Life, and Elena, the Queen of Passion. Each of the four gave a different plan for saving the world, and Lucius said, "We shall negotiate with the end by amassing gold and magic." But lo, the four disagreed. They bickered and fought and could not form a plan. And so Lucius enacted his own plan, for he did not need the four to achieve it. With his magic, he granted people's wishes, and they gave him gold and jewels. His efforts saved humanity from the wrath of Esther, who accepted his offering, and then she consumed the four, until none of them remained except within her. And thus, Lucius Christ, the Prince of Peace, the undisturbed flame, saved all of humanity by sacrificing himself.
He just stops and blinks at the pages for a while. Does any of this make sense to you? I'm lost. August shakes his head, but a maniacal grin has returned to his face.
No, Erica, it's complete and utter nonsense.
God! Now we have to play the other routes. You can't just drop stuff like that.
New story options.
To now access other character stories from the main menu.
What does that
means
mean?
we could just like... What are the extras?
Oh!
You can just start from...
That's so convenient.
And it even shows you how... Oh, and they even give you... Julian is recommended for Liam.
Interesting.
Gallery. Oh, it just took a moment to load.
Special.
Oh, we missed one. I guess because there was one option earlier on where we didn't do the thing.
Yeah.
Still.
Those are some
or no, because they also show up in other routes. Okay, maybe we'll get that in a different route then.
Special. Damn.
Yeah, so we will come back to this. Don't worry. We're going to take a break for a little while so we can run some other stuff on the channel because, again, we didn't want to shove everything to the side for a patron pick. But when we come back, we're going to do the other routes and find out what the fuck is going on here because this is too damn great.
And if you can't wait for us, you can always pick up the game.
You should. If I haven't, I'll leave a link to it in the description, but Woodsy Studio. And thank you again to our patrons for suggesting them because this turned out so much better than I thought it would. Holy crap. Have a good one, everyone.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.